This conversation here?
This is like when Kanye and Jay-Z met for the first time. But the old recorded tapes, the journey towards yourself.
Figuring out what you want to be in the world.
What makes you unique? What are you here to do?
And living that before you talk about it. And what adventures have me and Kelvyn had? There's one that came to the top of our
Yeah.
Remember the beautiful gig?
What a side quest. What a side quest. A few years ago, one of my boys had a seizure on the day I was meant to be presenting for Nike. I had this text coming in from the Nike lot being, you're gonna center stage with these footballers. And then I had this other text, they don't know how much time he has. And I remember being confronted with a choice.
Cosy crew, we're back with another episode. Today, we are joined by the wonderful Kelvyn. What would you describe yourself, bro? Because you do bears, bro.
Oh, that's the question of the year. What do I describe myself
Conversationalist.
Yeah, do you know what?
Here.
I feel like I'm a storyteller at heart.
Exactly.
So across everything that I do, whether it's presenting, whether it's part running sort of the art of, I feel like every single thing I try to do tells a story. And that's within football culture, within wider culture. And so yeah, storyteller is the one. Storyteller,
Man. So, your info on today, Cosy crew, still, because this conversation here,
it's been in the works. This is like one of those early when Kanye and Jay-Z met for the first time. But the old recorded tapes, bro. You can find that tape of one of our first conversations we ever had, right?
Bro, maybe somewhere. But even if not, bro, like we've had Cosy Conversations for years, man. I mean, for context, like myself and Kelvyn have known each other for what, 10 odd?
Yeah, 10 odd.
Yeah. And you know, you've been a brother through life, bro, for real. And you know, like how long I've been saying I need to do this.
100%.
But not just like how long I've needed to do this, but also that sense of you helping me to figure out like what I actually kind of want to do in regards to even like navigating the space of building brands, positioning. And I think one thing that you always reminded me of, bro, is actually like living out your truth, like figuring out like what you want to be in the world
100%.
And living that before you talk about it. Because I think sometimes there's a lot of pressure to have to figure out what does my brand have to be, and then you create something that you think you need to be, but actually it's who you already are.
And that's the biggest thing. Like, I think a lot of people get it wrong when they think about personal brands. They think a personal brand is something that they have to become. It's almost like a jacket that you wear, or like you present a personal brand, but like really and truly the people that cut through are the ones that are able to express themselves as a brand. So the journey towards yourself, understanding what makes you unique, what are you here to do in terms of the stories you're supposed to tell, what's the power of your voice, and how do you then disseminate that across to a group of people that want to listen.
Bro, and from all of that, I mean, we've landed here with Cosy Conversations, a platform, space where we're joined by wonderful guests just like Kelvyn, who are here to just tell their own story, to talk about your own life. We're not here to position an answer to life, like there is one answer. I mean, I believe Christ is the answer. However, obviously, like, you know, I feel like there's a lot of podcasts out there at the moment that are trying to be like, oh, you need to do this, do that, 5 keys to da-da-da. Listen, everyone's life is different. Everyone's gonna go on your own journey. And actually this show is gonna hopefully help you, our Cosy crew, understand how to navigate your own life through kind of encouragement and inspiration, hopefully, of the wonderful guests that we have on this. And, you know, I'm blessed that I get to facilitate this space, man. So we're gonna get into the conversation.
Yeah.
We always like to start by asking guests kind of just to give us a bit more context as to why we're here. So just a bit more understanding about you, Kelvyn, how we really landed at this point. I mean, our own journey as well. And I don't know if you got an item for this one. Did you manage to bring an item for this one, or if
I've got an item.
Question? Okay, we got an item. We got an item. Right, cool. What we got?
But it's like, it's part of the story. It's not like...
Okay, so you want to save that?
Yeah, I'll save that.
Okay, cool. So let's talk a little bit more. I mean, we've already started to touch on it, right, in terms of like our own journey. But yeah, when you kind of hear that, like, why are we here? Like, what else do you really think has been part of like really this moment, like getting us to this point right now? Like, how do you think we've kind of landed here?
I feel like there's a couple of answers to that question. The first, I think in terms of our relationship, we found ourselves here through a shared passion of like building community. And like, I mean, the first time that I ever kind of interacted with you was like through, Football Beyond Borders, right? And like seeing you as a young, wide-eyed, very, very smart, intelligent young man who had big dreams about sort of the spaces that you wanted to be in, and you were a goalkeeper. I remember the old school Wanderers, like, he had big things, even in goal, he had big ambitions for the Wanderers. But like, and you had this unwavering positivity. Yeah, you were playing with a bunch of like 20, 30-year-olds, like at the tail end of their careers.
I was like, what, 15, 16?
And you were 15, 16, like coming in the rain, the wind, the shine, in goal, encouraging the rest of the team, all the way up to a cup final run, bruv. You've literally been and done it all. Do you remember that?
Bro, I forgot about that,
Yeah,
but
man.
actually we did go all the way still. I don't know if I played that cup final. Did I play that cup final?
I don't know. I don't think you did.
I don't think I played, but I was there. Yeah.
And it was like, God damn, like a 15-year-old with so much energy, so much to add value to a group full of adults. You'd have thought you were 30 in terms of your mindset and your talent and your belief. And so I remember being inspired by you then. And, I was somebody that was quite young at FBB at the time. I had like kind of big sort of ambitions for myself. And a huge part of what I've always wanted to do was obviously, I had a stint in football and I loved playing, but like, I always wanted to use football as a means to like meet new people. And one of the most formative moments in my life was when I was 15. My head teacher comes up to me, goes, right, we're raising money. We're gonna raise 25 grand and we're gonna spend 25 grand at a daycare center, deaf and blind school and street kids home in Pattaya, Thailand.
How did that come about, bro?
Yeah, crazy. I went Sacred Heart School, a Roman Catholic school, and we had this church in Thailand that we were partnered with. And we had this initiative where they take a group of 12 people out every 2 years to go and engage in charity work, go and engage and see how your faith can like transcend borders that you come to know. And I remember applying for it and then getting, the opportunity to go out, and it was incredible. And that was the first time when we landed that I played with another team in Thailand. And we didn't speak the same language. We didn't come from the same sort of spaces, but like when we kicked ball, there was a connection.
Literally.
And so I had this one story. I remember being there and there was this woman. I met this kid, he was a midfielder, and then he took us back to sort of where he lived. And it was in this like little shanty town, and he lived there with like 11 other people. And his mom made rice cakes, and that was like the way that they made their money for the day. Anyways, she made a batch, and she was about to sell that batch in the streets. And she ended up giving all of it to us. And she said, you know what, I don't want any money. I would just rather you not go hungry. And I remember asking her at the time, like, why would you do something like that? Like, what? We have money, we can pay you. Why would you go your way to do that act of kindness? And she said, because it doesn't cost anything to be kind. And like, true wealth is your ability to treat others with kindness, not how much money you have in your pockets. And I think from that moment and the moment on the pitch, I realized that like, I didn't want to go and play football. I didn't want to be an athlete. I wanted to be somebody that like kind of used football to make a difference in communities and use football to tell stories. And that's what landed me at FBB, where I obviously met you, but then it's also landed me like center point out in Russia for the Street Child World Cup, or like all the way out in Mongolia to like tell a documentary about like Mongolian football fan culture, or like, Copper 90, doing all of the sort of like podcasts that I've done, interviewing the future king and the prince, which we'll get into. And then right the way to sort of, I guess, why we're here now.
I love the moment you just spoke about, because I mean, it kind of answers like the next question that we're going to go into, and I want to maybe just touch on it in terms of like a moment that was necessary to get you to where you are today. I mean, maybe you've got another moment and we can talk about it, but I liked what you were saying about just you finding yourself in Thailand, like playing football.
Got a picture.
Have you got a picture? Okay,
Yeah,
sick. Show me the picture, and as you're finding it out, oh yeah, jeez.
That's me. Crazy.
No way. I'm gonna put the brightness up.
Yeah, man. So as a youngster, I was playing drums in the band with the team that just played. They had my Chelsea top on, everything. We just literally played, bro. And it was like, I would never have thought myself to be in that scenario at all. But it was beautiful, and again, it shows that like love and kindness has no language, no different languages. Like, and you can connect with people from pure sort of energy, and I think that definitely set me on the path that I am.
And it's presence, bro. It's just being present. You know what I mean? Like, it's being present. And the reason I wanted to like unpack it more, and I wanted to hear maybe if you've got other reference points or how this relates to you today, is because, you know, I think so many people are afraid to just go on adventures, bro.
Yeah.
To just go on an experience that you don't know exactly how it's gonna turn out, but there's value in it, bro. You know what I mean? Like, had you not gone there, would you have connected with FBB? Maybe. We don't know. Maybe there would have been another way if that was the will for your life. I'm sure things would have worked out in a way to make sure you get there. But this is the story we're telling today, right? Where you were in Thailand, you have this rice cake that's been like given to you, and there's just a moment of realization, bro, that clicks in your mind to say, this is what I want to go and do. And it gives you that conviction and that vigor to go into FBB the way that you do, and build with FBB everything that's going to be, and connect with all the people that you connect with, and now be where you are today. So yeah, I mean, let's talk a little bit about adventure, bro, and like how to just keep that adventurous spirit, or how to walk in it. Because I think it's something that you need to have. It's essential. You've got to go out in life and just go for it.
You have to, and you have to be able to take your foot off the gas and just be a student. At every stage of life and as your career, what adventure looks like to me is going to a place and not having a single structure, not having a single sort of goal or objective in mind, just literally meeting people, being inspired, and like trying to learn like I'm in school again. So like, for the first time ever, I took myself away for like a month, I think last year.
Was it Brazil?
It was the Caribbean. And I didn't have a plan in place, nothing. All I wanted to do was just connect with nature. And all I wanted to do was take my mind out of the game, the rat race that we're in all the time, right? And it was the very feeling of the leaves. It was the very sitting on the beach, listening to the ocean crashing, the very slowing down of life that allowed me to then play like a kid. I was belly laughing. I was like running around, bro, like in the like, you know, in the trees, in the jungle. Like I was like, you know, I was screaming at like animals coming towards me. And it was like, I've never actually relaxed in that way in such a long time. And I remember being in a moment where I fully kind of was present, and ideas started flowing into my mind about the way I wanted to kind of move things when I got back to the UK. Like the way I wanted to connect with people, like the very like nature of my conversations became richer. I felt like, you know, I was able to, I don't know, like connect with different cultures and communities, take the essence of like what makes them unique, how to live a slower pace, and how to like then apply that to sort of the way I approach work now. And so like, adventure is such a great part of the creative process. I think it's the place where your mind goes into the flow state and you're fully not just talking on or telling a story about something that's happened, you're fully connecting to something that's happened. That's art.
Bro, it's so true. And I think that it's inherent to the creative process, but it's also inherent to the life process.
Yeah.
Because I think there are some adventures where you look back and you take the learning, or it connects you into the next thing. And there are some adventures where you've got something to laugh about. There's some adventures where you've got a scar that you maybe needed to help you through the next season, that maybe you face a bigger challenge, but because you got a reference point from previously, it helps you when it comes again. As you were talking, I was even thinking, I was like, what adventures have me and Kelvyn had? Like, I mean, there's been a few, but there's one adventure, bro, that came to the top of my mind.
Yeah, go on.
Bro, remember the beautiful game?
What a side quest. What a side quest.
And you know why? It's such a good one, because P behind the camera, obviously.
Always on there, shout out P as well.
Nah, shout out P most episodes. P always gets a mention in it, because obviously man. So many of my stories are P somehow involved some way, whether it's school. They're beautiful game. Bro, you know what's so funny about that one, yeah? Because we've given them we've given good game, but this one, let's just laugh for a sec, bro. Bro, you know when that episode came out?
Yeah.
Bro, I was burnt, bro. Or that film came out.
Oh, what you could see.
Burnt, bro.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Bro, so we pulled up, yeah.
The whole
Obviously, who shouted? I think you shouted me or Jack shouted me.
Yeah.
Because it was a streets football. So then, like, Netflix film, Michael Ward, ball.
Bro, we were all gassed.
I'm thinking, yo, this is gonna be cold.
I remember we all got like haircuts, so that was it. Like, we made it now.
Yeah, we were thinking
I
like,
can't go back to work.
Bro, like Netflix move gas, bro.
Yeah.
We pull up, it's like we're there like 6 a.m. or something, bro.
Right.
Early doors. And then we're told like what we're actually doing. Listen, if you want to be in a film, find out what role you're playing
beforehand.
Before you say yes or no. I remember though, we did it, I did it because of bread, innit?
Yeah,
I was like,
100%.
Alright, cool, it was like 2 bills or something. At that time,
Easy.
like, I mean, 2 bills now is still great. Like, I'm not gonna turn around at any money, but you know, 2 bills then and 2 bills now, it's slightly different. But 2 bills there, I was like, yo, big dough.
Yeah.
Netflix film house cast. We're there. Yeah, so all you, man, you're homeless ballers.
Yeah,
like,
crazy.
Heard you.
That was the first hour. Delivered at 6:30 a.m.
Like, we're thinking like, oh, that's what we're playing.
Yeah.
Bro, after that,
it was the wardrobe, innit?
it was the...
The wardrobe was crazy.
Fam,
little 3/4 legs that are like little holes in them, like. I'm like, wait, hold on, is this Roots? Where have I landed, bruv? I'm out here struggling. They told me it's Netflix, and I'm here looking like Roots.
Bro, they put the Vaseline on
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Dirty me up, bro.
Yeah.
And I said, bro, is this what... Bro, every guy comes in with
Yeah, it was that walk of shame, man.
Every brother comes in, each look more raggedy, bro, more of... And bro, we're clean guys,
yeah,
bro.
100%. That
bro,
was
we
not
then get on the
Irish.
pitch and that, bro, and it's like, bro, it was just, bro, it was such, it's a bit blurry now, innit? But, and then like, they're talking to us, bro, cameras in the face. We're telling, you just need to nod.
Just
like,
nod,
look,
just nod.
And like, we're the next homeless batch for the film. Bro, so anyway, we've shot now, We've shot. Cool, done. So I'm thinking, all right, cool. Like, it's not come out 1 year.
Yeah.
1 year. 2 years, it's not come out. I'm thinking, oh yeah, the movie got scrapped, fam. Calm. I think it was like year 3, maybe. Year 3 or year 4 something. Mm-hmm. Bro, I think P messages me.
So something's coming out.
If P goes, alright, bro. He goes, alright, bro, look at this message. Bro, P's just got atted by someone, like one girl or someone from
Is that
work.
when they clocked you?
I don't even know, fam. P just gets atted. Bro, I go on Netflix, The Beautiful Game. I said,
that was it, because I had like, there was one frame
Bro,
where my big head was on the middle, bro. Like after the bit where there's just like, oh yeah, you guys will be the next homeless.
Bro, me, bro. I had my little cameo in there. P had his little bro, and then credits rolling.
Yeah. You saw that in there.
Bro, I see my name.
Tears.
I see my name. No, you know what makes it worse, bro? You know what makes it worse?
Oh, they spoil.
Barack N. Gomorrah.
Oh my God.
And what was it for you? P can't even speak, fam. But P's thing was offline as well, bro. Bro, so I've done all this, bro.
Nah.
And on top of that, for context, Cozy Crew, my surname spelled Ngoma.
Yeah.
I see ENG.
But the thing is that there's so many opportunities to get that right. Like how that went through
Just
all of those
Barack
checks.
and Gamoa. I said, yeah, safe. Pack it up. Pack it up. We're done, fam.
Yeah,
But anyway,
man.
man. Now that's some life adventures are for that.
But
for
then,
that
like,
moment.
okay,
there,
but then like, think
for that.
about it, right? Like even that moment there, like jokes, mad experience,
bro.
right? But like, think about like what it's taught you about the industry as well, right? Like the amount of work that goes into shooting one scene,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
production, the scale, right?
Yes, bro.
And then in terms of like, you know, even like being able to like bring awareness about an aspect of football culture that not many people know. You know, the Homeless World Cup is actually massive and like is very much you know, followed around the world, and the worker center point is really, really important. And you know, young people who feel socially excluded being able to represent their country is to some people like quite a big thing. So like it was just jokes because the amount of people that were sending corn literally in the DMs when it came out, but then they came after and they said, do you know what? I didn't know football moved like that. Like I only thought football was about the 90 minutes that I watch on a weekend, but actually it's actually inspiring and changing people's lives.
Let's talk a little bit about kind of like a moment kind of where things were a lot tougher, like a low point where you kind of hit a certain stage or walked through a certain season where it was hard, like just hard, bro.
Yeah, definitely. There've been loads of those. I think for me, a couple really come to mind. Friends are a huge part of my life, right? And they help shape who I am. When I'm in spaces with my closest people, I feel my most authentic self, right? And there was a point a few years ago, actually it was a mad day, now that I'm recalling it. One of my boys called Juan, boys like growing up, but he used to have seizures, and he had a seizure and was taken into ICU on the day I was meant to be presenting for Nike at the like Nike Town space, and it was going to be my biggest presenting gig at the time. And I remember being confronted with a choice. You know, I had like this mad moment where I had this text coming in from the Nike lot being like, we're really excited, you know, there's lots that are going to happen from here, and you're going to be like center stage with these footballers in front ahead of the World Cup. And then I had this other text which was like more they don't know how long, sort of how much time he has, and immediately it put life into very quick perspective. And I remember it being the easiest decision ever, going to the hospital and being able to spend time with him and see him just in ICU was like, really incredibly tough. And we got there, and 30 minutes later, you know, he had his priest, he had the pastor with him, he had his mom, he had his family, he had his friends, and then we were told that he had passed. And it was a mad moment of just introspect and realizing that all of this stuff that we fill our careers with, that we feel are like huge goals for us, that we think will define sort of our success and our legacy, mean nothing when like it's faced with the very people you grew up with, like going, life, your health, family, everything that's so core to why and how you exist every day. And it taught me the maddest lesson not to sweat over any opportunity, not to completely, you know, lose myself in the source of perceived success. Because when you put two things next to each other, like that Nike opportunity, that, you know, moment, it's not success at all. It would have been short-lived. Would have felt like the man for about 10 minutes and then, you know, had that instant regret for the rest of your life that you weren't there to see your friend. And so, yeah, I've had multiple moments where I've been confronted with a lot of difficult decisions, and I've had to choose, you know, the things that are like about real life rather than the things that are like online. And I feel blessed to be able to carry on and try and like live through his legacy and tell his story in the ways that I can, but then at the same time, value life in real time over the life that we live online.
bro, like that resonates with me so much more now than maybe it would have last year. Because even for me, this year was the first time that I was confronted with like death of like a real close kind of family member. Like up until this year, it was kind of quite distant. You know, I'd only probably been to like 2 funerals. I didn't really lose anyone like really in the family by God's grace. And, you know, I never really understood what it means to kind of like lose someone of like real significance in your life. And it was actually my cousin who passed away kind of in April this year. No, it's cool, bro. And I think what you just said there about choosing life in the moment and real life, bro, it resonates so much with how I've kind of interpreted what it means to like lose or like deal with grief, either in a person or in a situation, right? Because, bro, like the world can never be the same again, right? In terms of him not being here no more.
Yeah.
Anytime I go to my auntie's house, it's different now, inherently different. You know what I'm saying? Where he would have been there and we would have rapped or seen each other, it just won't be that ever again. And it's definite. You know what I mean? Like there's something so like hard about like definite, like whatever the word is in it. The fact that it's just so like
That's
definite,
it.
bro. You know what I mean? Like, and anytime I go there, you have that nostalgia and that sense of, damn, like the world has shifted.
Yeah.
And I think even when I think back to it now, it's made me so much more aware of being present in what the world is now and enjoying that, bro. And particularly with like family, with friends, with in real life experiences, with adventure like we're talking about there, it's enjoying it, bro, because you never know when it will shift. You
100%.
never know. And this work thing will carry on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
bro, like the company or Nike will just bring in the next person that they had on their list,
100%.
right? You know, but for Juan, you mean so much more. And even for you to be able to have that presence for one last time, bro.
Oh, it's a moment I'll never, ever forget. And he was in the room, like, and that very moment where you feel sort of the anguish, the tears collectively, and then the prayer in that moment, it was a moment where I felt like true emotion at its rawest form. I felt so hyper, like present in the room, and like I could remember everything about where everything was. And I couldn't tell you about some of the presenting things that I've done, like, because I just move on from it so quick. Because life in the career sense is built around an algorithm. The algorithm is changing all the time, right? And like all of this stuff that we think is substance really just isn't. Like it's just surface level. And so I try to build my life around how often am I in positions and moments of adventure, right? Which is like in real time, in real life, for good, for bad, everything in between, because you have to experience it all.
Yeah.
And then how that then allows me to protect my space when I'm back online, plugged in, and having to like, you know, do the big marketing stuff, build the personal brand, show the career sort of growth. It's forced me to step away from the race a little bit more. It's forced me to confront my ego a lot more because, you know, that feeling of like feeling you're missing out versus like, actually, no, you're not. You're just feeling more abundance in your life. Like you're finding, you're searching for joy, deep happiness, deep sadness, deep everything. Like it's a journey, bro. And I've felt so much better for it. And yeah, I've had similar experiences since, but I've come to those experiences a lot more prepared, a lot more sort of grounded in myself as to exactly who I want to be in the spaces that I want to find myself in.
We're talking about it here anyway in terms of like, obviously, what you navigated with Han and other situations, but bro, like, how does that resonate with you, kind of walking through pressure, walking through fire, bro? And how has that kind of played into just shaping your journey and your walk? Yeah,
walking through fire it's been tough. What I I would be in positions as a young black man in a role of leadership. Every day is under fire. Every single day is under fire. Every single day you're walking through rooms where people are like, why is he here? Or like you're making decisions and people are like, it's on your head if it goes wrong. Or like you are trying to seek advice and the rooms that you're walking into, there's nobody there that looks like you. And so like every single day is a day where I have to walk in and trust in my own gut, first and foremost. And I have to build my relationships around sort of, you know, who can help guide me and give me the tools that I need to then transcend and grow. But then at the same time, how do I prepare myself when people try to tear me down? And I've been torn down multiple times, bro. Like I've been in rooms where people are like, I don't like the way in which you're coming at an idea because I don't think your culture's like relevant to a brand campaign, or I don't think that your voice resonates with the wider community, right? And often I spend a lot of my time, you know, journaling and noting things down and doing a lot of research into, I guess, my heritage, my history, and why it's come to shape my voice. You know, as somebody that's part of the Ghanaian diaspora, delving into Ghanaian history that predates slavery has been quite a big thing for me. And it's allowed me to then like write a lot more, which puts me in a really, really healthy headspace where I can then come to work and think about ideas and back my ideas a lot more. I've sought out mentors who have helped guide me in terms of like the world of brand, because bro, that wasn't a role. I'm head of brand, but that role didn't exist 5 years ago. And so like a lot of people are like still learning about what that even means. And so, when I'm in the fire, I do one of few things. I journal, try to collect my thoughts, try to really understand who I want to be in this space and why I'm here. I go back to, again, hang out with my school friends, the friends that have known me the longest, and like, we speak and we're just expressing and we're just like jugging, even our conversations, right? That's healing for me, because it's like, we're just two people from two similar walks of life talking about the same sorts of things that are going through our careers, and we're connecting as people. And then I just spend time with family. The church. These are the spaces and communities that will protect you even when you don't feel protected everywhere else. And when you're in the fire, you have to go to shelter. Like, you know, it takes a village. You have to go back to your village and like recenter yourself, you know, reconnect, and then go back again ready to fight the war.
Literally, bro, literally. And that sense of like being able to just charge yourself up through the things that pour into you as much as you pour out and into them, bro, it's so essential to keep it going, bro, because this thing is a real marathon, bro. It's a marathon. And not just a marathon on the same kind of track, bro. Sometimes the marathon's on a smooth road, and the next minute the marathon's on a next thing with potholes. And the next minute the marathon is on you're like gliding, and then the next minute you're climbing. Bro, it's a unique marathon, bro, and everyone's running their own race in their own terrain with their own situations. But one thing you've got to figure out is how do you pour back into yourself so you can keep going, bro. And I think what you've just said there, bro, really attests to that. To move us through kind of to just really thinking a little bit more about like your why, you know, and we've touched on it throughout this conversation, but to really crystallize it for the Cosy crew so they really get it, you know, how have all of these experiences, and is this where the item comes in, or, okay, here we go. How have all of these experiences really got you to that place of you being clearer in this season, or really defining what your why is in this season? Because the why can evolve, but in this season, like, what is that for you, and how have these experiences shaped it?
I think my why in this season is I believe I was put on this planet to just connect with people through my shared passion of sport, through my shared passion of football, and to tell stories of communities and cultures that like are different to mine. And Yeah, it kind of inspired kind of the shirt that I wanted to bring in today. So like this, my Mongolia shirt.
Cool.
For context, I shot a documentary with FIFA, and I was sent out to Mongolia to understand whether or not Mongolia had a football fan culture. And I remember being in this stadium, the capacity was about 300, 400 people. And there was this guy who watches a World Cup qualifier every year from Mongolia. They never get into the World Cup. It never
Just one
really
guy?
matters. It's just one guy, and he was there in tears. He was crying, he was sobbing the whole game. And I remember going over to him and standing next to him and asking him like, why are you so upset? And Mongolia like lost the game to Brunei. But he was like, I'm not upset. I'm not crying tears of like sadness. I'm crying tears of joy. Like every day is a blessing to see my nation do us all so proud. I don't care what the level of the game is. I don't care if they get into a World Cup. It doesn't mean anything. What it means, what the most valuable thing about that moment is that like my people are doing well. And to fly all the way out there and to be in that moment with him and to share those tears, and he gave me his shirt, it made me feel like football is so much more powerful than the conversations and debates that we have on a weekend about like sort of whether or not our team are gonna like, you know, win the league. It's about how it makes people feel. It's about the identities it gives to people, their abilities to express themselves, the moments of ritual that they never kind of break from, the like blind hope, the blind joy, the blind sadness that they throw into it. It's about, you know, how this sport is escape for so many people, and it's also a route into us understanding each other a lot more, and that is what defines my why. And so like whenever I go into a presenting opportunity, I search for that feeling. Whenever I go into, you know, an opportunity to make merchandise for a football club through Art of, I search for that feeling. Whenever I have a conversation with people and it goes through loads of different winding, unstructured spaces, it's because I'm searching for that emotion and that sense of connection, because that's what makes us human. Again, like how we express ourselves in real life moments and not, you know, who we perceive ourselves as online, because the algorithm will continue to go one way. AI will take over. Like there will be sort of a rhythm to the way people show up and build their brands in the digital space. But the ones that will always cut through are the ones that, you know, are able to understand who they are at their most purest and are able to express that version of themselves, because that's what will allow you to cut through.
Bro, and it links to something actually. I was chatting to Mao the other day. I was with him at a Future Friday session, and like he said something, bro, that really like I was shocked to even hear it, bro, and I was taken aback. And I think it rings true for anyone that I really think about who has a real strong presence and brand. And he kind of said to me, he was like, B, like, because he always tells me like, bro, you've got a sick brand, you know. And I'm like, bro, like, I don't, what? Like, I don't do anything. He's like, exactly. He was like, bro, people, like he was like, I was in this room today and your name came up and everyone had a very similar thing that they understood. When your name was said, they understood. And he was like, bro, what's branding? It's like you want to land a very clear message about what your values are, what you stand for and who you are, so that your audience understand that and they galvanize around it and you acquire people that are aligned to that, right? And he said to me like, bro, like that's you. Like you don't even need to be in the room for people to understand who you are and what you stand for. And the reason I say that is because I can say the same for you. I can say the same for him. I can say the same for so many people that I look to who, you know, have these real kind of like, you know, their name and what they stand for is clear even before they've said a word. And that can only really be built through that in real life presence, I think. I actually can't think of, it can be done digitally, but there's a layer and a level to it when it's in real life, when people really can experience it and really like feel that presence and that like energy and who you are in a genuine way. And it matters so much more. Like I think this conversation has been really rooted and centered around like coming back to this place of like in real life where it all starts there. It all starts with how you're going out and living. It all starts with how you're being present. It all starts with it links to choosing life versus like choosing kind of like these fleeting moments that actually at the end of the day aren't necessary. They're gonna move on, they're gonna move past. It will be one post on social and it's done, but actually like that life moment, bro, that you'll hold on to forever, you know. And again, like we're not saying that these are the answers, but they're great ways to help navigate, because at the end of the day, it's through those experiences, bro, that you get more substance. And I've been encouraged by that, like as we've been talking, as we've been unpacking, and even as you spoke about, you know, even like losing one of your good friends, bro, like in a period of your life. And just as we were in that space, bro, it really connected with me. Like I really felt that, because I was like, it's so important, man, to be present and live now, bro, like and choose life, bro. Choose life, like
Choose life.
The final thing we want to know is, what questions are you still asking, bro, in this season of your life?
The questions that I'm still asking in this season of my life is, again, it's like, I'm so curious. I want to know, like, again, what is like pure, raw sort of emotion look like? What does it feel like? How do you know when you're in a state of pure joy? How do you know when you're in a state of pure sadness? Like, and how do you live through that and within that, and how are you guided by that? Like, I still feel that there is a lot more work to do to become more connected to the craft of what I do, and like throw myself into experiences and environments where I am fully out of my comfort zone, because that's where I think I'll draw up a lot more sort of emotion. But that's the like critical question that I'm asking myself at the moment.
Well, bro, good luck finding the answer, innit?